Coming up this week is Starfire, now planning to hijack every conversation she can with Spider-Man threads.
Is a Wonder Woman movie finally going to happen now that you can strap a baby to Zach Galifianakis with a magic lasso?
All this and more is coming up next. It's episode 78 of DCR.
This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
Distress Citizens Radio.
Buongiorno and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the DCR. I, of course, remain your host, extra echoey comic book reader extraordinaire Sean Lamont, and I am joined this week by the man who is the ruler of this cathedral. That's what it sounds like we're in, at least. Mr. Brian Glein. How's it going?
It's going all right. I hope they can hear the calming rain in the background.
I think it'll make us soothed and calm and happy. That's all we got this week, though. We are still in our transition stage. I know Kelly is putting together costumes for another thing that she does right now, so we should be back up to full strength next week. So for this week, you'll just have to deal with us. But for one thing, though, we have time on our side. This is not going to be a "go, we have to carry boxes" episode. So yay, at least we got something. Before we start, though, as I said at the top, it probably sounds a little echoey. I don't know if it's coming across. We have a new recording space. I have not put everything up on the walls yet, and it is a little reverberating, a little bit bouncing. So as we get everything set up, we also have some new tech coming into play next week. So bear with us. We will get things back to normal. I just have to dabble with some settings and whatnot. Until then, though, Brian, I'll wait until you finish your yawn since I've bored you so.
Yep.
What are we doing today?
We're spoiling everything that happened this week in the New 52.
We are. We're going to talk about plot beats, storylines, things that happen in the books, things that we want to see happen in the books, things that we just kind of are wishfully thinking happened in the book. We tend to paraphrase. We tend to inject some stories of our own into it, but by the end of the show,
That's why Sean won't give me Red Hood and the Outlaws, because Silky would just be the star of the book.
Yes, and it would just be Killer Moth. I finally saw that episode, by the way, with the never-ending story ending.
And the amazing, amazing DuckTales tribute.
So, that being said, if you do not want your book spoiled, do not listen to this particular episode. Questions, comments, concerns, and corrections will be returning next week. We just moved in this week, so give me a little bit more time. I still have to compile all the stuff that came in while I was moving, so I'm going to do that this week, and then we can just start plowing through those as well, and we do have a backlog and a half. But we'll get to them. I promise. I promise you we will.
Yes, Jeremy. Grant Morrison should be writing Zatanna. Grant Morrison should be writing everything.
I don't think he should be writing everything. I don't want to see Teen Titans Go written by Grant Morris.
That would be amazing.
Scribble Knots Unmasked or Unlimited or whatever it is. So what do you say we stop the dilly-dallying? Amble? I say we jauntily stroll into this week's books. All right, I am leading us off this week with something a little different. It's a little different of an episode, so I'm going to start off the show a little different as well. Normally, we're relegated to the Bat Half. By far, this is one of the marquee titles of the Bat Half. But for this episode, I put it in the front. There's a reason. It'll become apparent over time. I'm going to start us off with Batman and Ra's al Ghul, number 32.
Is it apparent because you had nothing but Bat books this week?
That's one reason. There was a couple things for it. Brian, do you remember where we were in the Batman and series?
Batman and Frankenstein joined a team of Yetis to go and take on Ra's al Ghul in the mountains somewhere.
Correct, in the mountains of the Himalayas, most notably where Nanda Parbat used to be.
Panda Narbat?
Yes. As we know, it disappeared because the villains were abusing its power during Forever Evil and the whole Blight crossover in Justice League Dark. So now, where Nanda Parbat stood, there is another city underneath it known as Nishapur. Has this shown up before?
I can't think of it.
They
This
say
would have been
it's...
the perfect time to actually use the name Pandora.
No, it's not Reverso Parbat. It's the city of black magic, and they built Nanda Parbat on top of it after they defeated...
jerks.
Well, no, I guess all the evil sorcerers were there, and they were like, hey, stop being evil sorcerers. How do we stop them? I don't know, let's build a house on top of theirs.
Put some monks there.
Yeah, they'll chant all the time, really annoying. Throw them off their game. They'll be like, let's open a rift to hell, and Numini Patrick. Goddamn monks.
They're chanting.
But what we get this issue, Brian, is that, but it is Batman, Frankenstein, and an army of Yeti. And as they bust in the dodo to find Ra's al Ghul and his army of ninjas and man-bats. Mm-hmm. So we have Yetis versus man-bat. I know you would be sad about this. I'm actually surprised you're not just like knocking over the pile to grab the book from me right now. While they're going...
any of the new equipment.
Fair enough. As soon as they do get in, though, they do see that one of the sarcophaguses has been dumped into the Lazarus pit that was beneath Nanda Parbat, and it is Talia al Ghul's. And he's going to let her marinate in this juice stuff that he dunked her in because I guess it's the way this particular pool works. They have to soak in it for a while because it'll wipe their memories and make them pliable, and then she'll be the
also
most...
give them a nice raspberry chipotle flavoring.
Exactly. It'll be yummy, tasty. And of course, as soon as this happens, they have not dunked Damian yet. And he goes, what are you doing, Ra's al Ghul? You're going to turn them into monsters. Monsters! And Frankenstein's behind him going, and he's like, no offense, Frank. None taken. Just, remember your company here. We do find out how this is all working. Remember how he had a crystal that he kept dipping into the pools to make them active?
No, but I'll go with it.
Well, the last time we saw it when he was on Paradise Island, he had dunked a little crystal into it, and that's what summoned the big nightmare monster that came up out of there. This is a crystal that Talia had found that's like this ultra power source. It's what they use to speed up the growth of Damian as well. They're trying to fit that into that 5-year timeline now.
Okay.
So they're saying, yes, he was born, he came out, would go back into the little chamber thing, and this crystal would make him age faster and faster and faster. So he technically is 10, but he turned 10 over 5 years. He's physically 10, not age-wise 10.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I could buy that.
Okay. So I figured that...
As far as comic book science.
Yeah, it's comic book science. You just gotta roll with it. So let's just jump right into it. Batman steals the Damian sarcophagus, and it is all-out war. Man-Bat versus Yeti. Rawr! And they're just tossing each other around. It is chaos. And Frankenstein jumps in and goes, Batman, get your son and yourself to safety. Get out of here. I'm going to hold him off. And we get this awesome panel of Frankenstein just charging into the fray of Yetis and Man-Bats, sword held high, ready to go. And Batman escapes with the sarcophagus, gets out to the plane that he had parked outside. Titus was waiting for him. He's all like, ooh, hey, my master Damian's here. Awesome. And as they go to get inside, that's when Frankenstein gets tossed out of the ruins and lands over the hood of the plane. And they turn around to see Man-Bats and Ra's al Ghul standing there. And this is it, Brian. It's the final showdown. Ra's al Ghul tells everyone to stand back. He's going to finish this. Yeah, it's the time. This is a brutal, brutal fight. Batman is super pissed about Ra's stealing Damian and Talia's body, and Ra's is super pissed about him messing with his family, getting his daughter pregnant, and then stealing his grandchild and keeping him instead of letting him join the family again. So these guys are going at it for blood. I mean, they are kicking. It's like a 5-page fight of just brutality. And it ends with Batman on top of Ra's al Ghul just saying he's going to finish it. And he's got his thumbs pressed down into the eye sockets of Ra's al Ghul, and he's about to gouge out his eyes. I mean, his thumbs are really down in there. I'm surprised he has eyes still. When all of a sudden their battle is interrupted by a loud boom! As a boom tube blasts open, blowing the two of them apart. And out flutter hordes of parademons. And a gangly figure steps out and goes, greetings from Apocalypse, friends! You may call me the Glorious Godfrey.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I was like,
where did that come from?
Exactly. That's exactly what I said as soon as I got to that last page. It was just like, dopey dope. I'm having so much fun. It's Yetis and Man-Bats. This is kind of the goofy stuff that I get into, and Frankenstein's running around. Yeah, this is awesome. What the hell is this? I was completely thrown off by that. And I only know this guy from the cartoons.
Where he was...
The newscaster,
where he was... Johnny Fox News,
yes,
Young Justice.
Yes, that's the only way I know him from. I've read stuff about him. I haven't really seen him pop up too much.
I think I've only seen him pop up as, like stirring the pot kind of TV personalities. That's a common thing for him to do.
Well, it's a good fit for him for what the character model.
I think he was a preacher once.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good fit for the character model. He seems to get into positions where he can manipulate people, and that's kind of his deal. And what's more than the news cycle right now?
Yeah,
I mean, that's basically what everyone lives and breathes off of. But what the hell is all I could say? And now I am 100% intrigued on where this title is going.
Yeah.
It seemed very linear. It seemed like we all knew where this title was going to go. And okay, he's going to get Damian back maybe, and possibly Damian's going to get dunked and come back and blah, 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 blah. What?
This may be a bigger linchpin into bigger things.
Yes, very much. And it says next issue is the beginning of the Robin Rises storyline. Do you think Glorious Godfrey is going to take Damian and take him for his own?
Not even Earth 2, Apocalypse Damian?
Yeah.
Man.
That'd be hardcore.
That'd be something new.
That'd be hardcore. They already got a Superman.
Yeah.
They'll put together their own Trinity.
Yeah, really.
Oh, wait, Fury's working for him too, isn't she?
Yeah.
That would be kind of interesting, actually, now that I'm kind of hashing it out. If they did get their own Batman, their own Superman, and their own Wonder Woman analogs.
Huh.
Have to keep an eye on that one.
Yes.
But, yeah. As I said, I just wasn't expecting it. So
no.
The art is typical Gleason. For me, I adore it. It's still kind of that weird style. Some people dig it, some people don't. But the storyline alone is just so much fun. As I said, the first half is just Yetis versus Man-Bats. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
So go ahead. What do you got coming up next?
I've got Futures End number 7.
Oh, Homeless Batman.
Homeless Batman. Just because I don't think I've said it yet, it's Azzarello, Giffen, Jurgens, and Lemire.
Jurgen.
With Aaron Lopresti drawn this week. We start off with Frankenstein. When we last left him, he was traveling through the Phantom Zone to get to the Bleed.
Yes.
And they ran into Black Adam, Phantom Black Adam. In the Phantom Zone.
Yes.
Yes, so Frankenstein, Princess Amethyst, they are with the Atom, and they're fighting Black Adam. He says, okay, you guys get out, go where you need to go. I will stay here and I will fight Black Adam. Black Adam calls down the lightning, but lightning only makes Frankenstein more powerful. I was born from lightning. How dare that? You just made me even stronger, which I thought was just great.
It was a great little line right there. It seems like Frankenstein's really just kind of the, you go on without me guy.
Yes. Adam and Amethyst, they manage to escape, and before the portal closes, Frankenstein is able to sneak his way through, but of course, not before Black Adam manages to rip his arm off, because, of course he does.
Ding, quota met.
Yep.
Not even the only one this week either.
Yeah, I know. Frankenstein, he gets his arm ripped off. He looks at the camera. He's like, "It's a living," and goes on about his business.
So he's a Flintstones dinosaur, huh?
A dinosaur or a bird,
or a bird,
and any kind of animal that's doing a job in the Flintstone household. They go through the portal. They wind up at Stormwatch's destroyed base. And there is Stormwatch, dead and floating out in space.
Yeah, they look dead.
They look dead, all right.
No spacesuits or anything like that, just kind of cold and bluish floating in space. Yeah. But free arm for Frankenstein. He has his pick. He can take any arm he wants there.
Yep. We check in with Lois Lane. She recaps all the clues that she got in her clue box a few weeks ago.
Did Clue Master leave it?
I don't know.
Ooh.
We'll find out. All the things she hasn't had time to investigate yet. Madison Payne shows up to ask if her boyfriend was really Red Robin.
Who's her boyfriend?
Well, as we all know, it's Tim Drake, who is currently living under the name Alistair Honeybrimble. And
just FYI, it's Cal Corcoran or something like that.
Cal Corcoran, yes. Boo.
It's been like 2 months that you've been going off of that joke. I had to at least get the actual name out.
4 weeks.
Fair enough.
Madison also reveals that she had a past with Lois Lane because Lois Lane exposed her war profiteering father, Maxwell Payne.
Is this a different surname for a character that may have existed prior?
I could see people thinking Maxwell Lord. I know we've already got Aaron Lord floating around in Superman Wonder Woman, so
Yeah.
I don't know what that could possibly be.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
he's just really into bullet time. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah, so he made a bunch of money off of I'm guessing the Earth 2 regular Earth War.
Or the Apocalypse War,
Or
I'm
the
assuming
Apocalypse
as well.
War, yeah. And
If they're not the same thing, we don't know yet.
So Lois Lane ruined her life with her exposés.
Curse you, Lois
Curse
Lane.
you, Lois Lane. So just as soon as she shows up, she gets really mad at Lois Lane, who she went to go see voluntarily, and goes and storms off.
That one did kind of play out a little weird. She's like, I want to talk to you. Is my boyfriend actually Red Robin? Wait, I actually hate you.
Yes, why did I come here? Firestorm. Jason Rush's Professor Dr. Yamakaze is working on teleporters.
Ha-ha!
As you said, yes.
Contextual clues.
And Ronnie Raymond is in Pittsburgh at the Battle of Pittsburgh Earth 2 War Memorial because his mom's name is there.
Because a spaceship crashed into Pittsburgh?
I don't know what happened.
That's what it said, and
Okay.
they couldn't stop the ship from crashing or something like that. I just picture all of Pittsburgh waving their terrible towels to try to blow the ship off course.
Yes. Grifter. We go to Cadmus Island, where Deathstroke is train fighting people and talking with the ultra-powerful little girl in silly clothes.
What's her name?
50 Sue. And we take a turn. It's bad enough Deathstroke's there. Deathstroke, not one of my favorite characters in the DC
Really?
universe.
How can you not like Deathstroke? He's BA incarnate.
That might be the reason.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
We find out that 50 Sue probably killed her father, and she's like, you're not my father, Deathstroke. Don't tell me not to swear.
Do you think she's a Century baby?
I suppose it's possible.
Because I didn't see Jenny Quantum on Stormwatch.
Yeah, we didn't see her there. It could be an Earth 2 Century baby, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know where she came from.
She looks like she's about 10 years old.
Yeah.
I could see that.
She would fit the age demographic at least.
Yes. And Grifter can now walk again. Faraday gave him back he unparalyzed him. And so he finds out he's going to be teaming up with Deathstroke and 50 Sue.
I would just like to point out, this seems to be the reassembling of Team 7 in Futures End number 7. I'm just pointing this out.
Okay.
If other people were here, they would be very excited about that fact.
Not until Dean Higgins shows up. It's not really Team 7 without Dean Higgins. Batman Beyond. Terry McGinnis is still being homeless dad, and he's spying on the Key, Coil, and Plastique. When Mr. Terrific shows up and calls him out, he says, "Hey, you're that new Batman guy." Because you're a bum that won't pick up money that I throw on the ground. His solid, flawless
I just
logic.
want to know how many dollar bills he went through just walking up to homeless people and then took it. And he's like, "Nope, you're not Batman." Anyone want some money? Oh, none of you are Batman.
So Terry goes full Batman and attacks him, and then he realizes, okay, there's a bunch of Triffitek guards. I can't get through. I can't win this. He goes and flies off. And then as he flies away, in the battle, they knocked over the shopping cart, and the spider robot Plastique falls out. Plastique, who's trying to run away with her team because they saw Mr. Terrific, she notices her dead robot body on the ground and kind of freaks out a little bit. As you would.
Understandably so. Mm-hmm. I cannot fault her for being like, is that a dead robot hobo me?
Yeah. Yeah. Plastique's kind of growing on me. She
really
is, yeah.
She is the quirky character as far as the villain crew, it seems.
Yeah, and then so now Mr. Terrific, he's like, oh, this spider robot's pretty interesting, and so Batman Beyond may have just given Mr. Terrific the technology that ends the world. So good job there, Terry. Good job.
Nice introduction into the main DCU there,
Yep.
Terry McGinnis.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm just going to end it so I can make sure I'm important in the future to have to come back and star in my own book.
Mm-hmm.
It's job security.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's got this time travel thing down pat. I love the book still.
Yeah.
It's the, as I said last week, all the threads are really starting to combine together now, and it is coming into an actual storyline moving forward. So I'm on board 100%. I don't know about
here.
you.
Oh,
really?
yeah. Yeah,
Good.
I'm enjoying it.
It seems to get mixed reviews. Some people seem to really enjoy it. Some people, because it is such low-key characters, people are still trying to find their hook, to find their... Everyone seems to be digging Frankenstein. How can you not dig Frankenstein? Yeah. But Faraday, 50 Sue, Plastique...
50 Sue is a little weird.
Key,
I don't know, I like
Coil.
I've always liked the Key, and Plastique is turning out to be awesome, so people better get hooked
And
into
Red
this
Robin
stuff.
hasn't exactly had the best showing since the start of the New 52, so people don't really have that fan base connection to him right now. I think people really just have to invest the time into it to get a connection to the characters, and then after that, it's smooth sailing from there. There's an interesting story there. So next up, unless you had anything else before we moved on.
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Next up, I have Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 32, The Return of Scott Lobdell to his darling book for me. This is the book that made me actually like him.
Yeah, I know.
I've said it before. I'm not afraid to say it. I ain't mad, yo. How do I start this one? It's an introduction issue. It's very much a small little thing, plant some seeds, move forward from there. So it's a group of terrorists from some organization. They just make fun of it the entire time. The United People of Blasity blah blah blah. And whenever he's ranting and railing,
they're no DeFauster Kane.
No, they're no DeFauster Kane. But whenever the terrorists are actually ranting and railing, it's just overwritten with blah blah blasity blasity blue because they're not listening to him and just having their own conversations. So you really don't know who these guys are or what they're doing. They have taken over some planes and are about to drop a nuke on Washington, D.C., but the planes have been infiltrated by Red Hood Introduction and Arsenal Introduction, and they bust up the plane, but they are unable to stop these terrorists from dropping the atomic bomb. And Arsenal's like, oh my god, they dropped an atomic bomb, what are we gonna do?
The United People of the Gap Band?
It could be, we don't know. And Red Hood stops for a minute. He's actually thinking about whether he just wants DC to be blown up or not. Message. And finally he goes, okay, let's call in the big guns. And they call in Starfire, who flies in there. Introduction. As you can tell, there's a lot of introduction in this. And Brian, I think you'll actually be happy about this. She comes in, she's like, disposal of bombs. I am filled with much of the squee. And punts the bomb out into space. And that seems to be the route they're going to take with her for her weird little thing. Arsenal scolds her and says, no, internet speak is not actual speech. Do not use internet speak in normal conversation. Tumblr, message board threads, just ignore all that weird stuff out there.
But I want to talk about Supernatural now.
Super Hulock forever.
Oh, yes. I am part of the fandom.
Speaking of, I put together a MacGyver Airwolf Blue Thunder fandom, and no one showed up at Colossal Con.
No.
Because I assumed it was just you have to find a common link like Super Hulock, and I was like, they all had helicopters in them.
Get Simon and Simon and you'll be set.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently people do not appreciate my humor, or it might be a little dated. So the team returns back. Yay, team, we have won the day. We get a little cut away to Louisiana, where the leader of this terrorist organization...
Nolans. The Big Easy.
It's Louisiana.
Louisiana. I guarantee.
The leader of this terrorist group is like, oh, you three, who are they? They call themselves the Outlaws. Oh, these Outlaws, they have made themselves a terrible enemy this day. Well, not terrible as in like a bad enemy. I'm actually very good at being an enemy. I'm just a bad Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I'm verbatim telling you what this page is like. It's a cute little scene. As I said, this is such a playful book.
This sounds like fun, actually.
This is a playful book
From
under
blah,
his
blah,
pen.
blah on, it sounds pretty fun.
So they return back to their little home base, And as soon as they land, Starfire runs up and lands a big old smooch on Arsenal because they are still together. And Roy Harper is going, no, not in front of Jason. Isabel just left him. He's probably a little lonely. We shouldn't be doing PDA in front of him like this. It's kind of weird. And he has no qualms with it. But Starfire runs up and goes, Jason, I heard you're filled with much of the lonely. And she kisses him. There, now you know you are not alone too. And they both just kind of go, nice sentiment, wrong way to express it, but that's cool. Let's all just go back to the place into our own separate bedrooms here. And they all kind of go their own way, but as they're about to enter into their building, it's an ambush. Some shadowy figure jumps them all, and they're all knocked unconscious. And they come back to, and they find themselves in this chamber, and they're like, oh my god, have we been taken prisoner? Well, they didn't take our weapons or any of our gear. I don't think we're prisoners. I think we're guests somewhere. And the doors open. Whoosh. And they go, welcome to Shade headquarters. Or should I say, welcome back to Shade headquarters. And Red Hood and Starfire are kind of like... And Arsenal's just standing there like, what happened? Why are you guys all shy about Shade? They're like, is this about Frankenstein's car? No, it's not about Frank's car, but he's not happy with you, just so you know. Hi, my name is Kirk Langstrom. You may know me as Man-Bat. I am the security officer for Shade.
Oh my god.
And he goes, I'd like you guys to come in and meet Dr. Ray Palmer here. We need your help, Starfire. And they go, well, that's kind of weird. What do you need? Some sort of space thing going on? You need me to be a diplomat or something? No, we found this weird thing out in space. It's like this big dome chamber thing, but it's all sealed shut. And they're like, we were just going to open it ourselves because that's kind of our thing. But when we decoded a message that's coming off of it, they hit play. Help us, Princess Starfire. You're our only hope, is what it says. And she goes, oh, well, that's kind of weird. Okay, well, let me see what I can do. And as soon as she touches it, it opens up. And she goes, well, wait right here, guys. I'll be right back. She goes inside. A couple seconds pass, and they're like, well, how long are we going to wait? What are we going to do? And that's when all of a sudden she just screams, ah, and then busts through the top and flies off into space, and everyone's stuck standing there going, what the hell? What do we do next? And the little tagline is will something from Starfire's past come back to haunt the Outlaws? So, as I said, it's such a fun book under his pen. I know you didn't believe me whatsoever, and you were just like, whatever, Sean, because I have so many books that I like that you don't.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that listening to that, it didn't sound like it was fun.
It sounded like fun.
Yeah.
And you get Shade involved, even with Man-Bat.
Man-Bat has joined Shade. We can have a Man-Bat Frankenstein team up now.
Well, shoot, if you're going to have the rest of the monsters of the DCU in there.
Exactly, he should be in there.
Why wouldn't he be there?
Yeah, it would make sense. And he's a scientist. That's where he should be. It's all the scientists of Shade. So, heck yeah, he should be there. But I just find it funny. I just want to see the Frankenbat team up.
Yeah.
Frankenbat.
We've already got Frankenbat over in Batman.
Well, no, they were having a Frankenbat fight. This is the Frankenbat Friends.
Okay.
Frankenbat and Friends. That's hard to say. What's next?
I got Wonder Woman 32.
Go for it.
Azarella and Suzuka.
Suzuka did a good job for me.
Yeah.
It was very Chang oriented. I mean, he kept the style very, very well.
I mean, he's been sort of the go-to fill-in guy on this book, and he's very good at it.
Yeah, he's just really found it.
As I said, you can tell when he's drawing it, but he still has enough of the flavor in there that you're not like getting jarred by it.
Nope.
So, Wonder Woman has invited all of the Sons of the Amazons to live on Paradise Island. Dio is okay, but not in good shape. So he survived the attack.
Well, before you move on, do you think they're going to stick with that? That Paradise Island will now be a cohabitated place of men and women?
Well, we'll see what happens when Azarello is done with it, but
4 more issues.
Yeah, okay.
That's all you get. 36 is the last one.
I think there's a lot of storytelling opportunities there.
I do too. I think there's huge storytelling opportunities if they stick with it, but I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of reset after this run ends.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm hoping not. I hope they stick with it because not everyone, a lot of people really seem to dig this iteration of Wonder Woman. So continue. I'm sorry.
I still got my hat in the race for Charles Soule to take over, but that's just me. He's only doing how many books? Come on, he can do another
one. What's one more? Close down that successful law business.
Yes. So, Wonder Woman has sent Moon and Eros to go and investigate Hell. It does not look good. at all.
Arrow's such a great pick to go to hell. I love the dialogue they have. What is hell but desire unfulfilled? So fitting, so great, so full of doublespeak.
Speaking of doublespeak, my favorite part of the issue is when Strife goes to visit Meet Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
And nothing that comes out of her mouth is not a viscera-related pun, and I'm just rolling around in delight. Olympus. Never did have a good sense of humor, did you? Yes. So, and she also hits on the firstborn, who's like, I'm gonna kill everyone, you and all of your brothers and sisters and things. But what if you want to, maybe hook up? And he gets all uncomfortable and tries not to make eye contact on his gigantic meat throne. It's hilarious. Because Strife, mind games.
Do you think she's actually throwing in with him, or she just wants to stir the pot?
Oh, she's just stirring the pot. That's all she does. Come on.
I know it's Strife, but you never know, because she does have a battle with Wonder Woman.
Even if she is, as soon as she sees the tide turning, she'll be like, I was screwed.
Well, I know that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, do you think she's
You'll never know the true answer.
I hope not. I hope they keep her so vague like that forever and ever and ever.
Actually, my real favorite part of the issue is Baby Zeke tries to play with Amazonian war knives.
Yeah.
No, don't touch, Zeke. That's not for you. He's coming in the middle of it. It's just the best panel. There's always one of those with Suzuka where it's all facial expressions and it's just,
Chang was really the trailblazer with that in this title. Yeah. So, I mean, he is just mimicking the style.
Suzuka was the king of Strife making eyes at Orion in the background and stuff like that. So, Wonder Woman gives Alika, the angry Amazon, her own personal shield to be able to protect Zola and Baby Zeke.
And her new armor getup's kind of badass, too.
Yeah. Big old, armor.
Shoulder pauldron.
Yes, shoulder pauldron that goes all the way down into a gauntlet.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call that.
I don't know what you would call it either. I call it badass myself.
Okay. In the realm of Harvest, and the Life Tree Lady, who I'm sure we've seen before, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. A badly hurt Hermes shows up, being attacked by Cassandra.
Don't kill the messenger! Don't kill the messenger!
Yeah.
Double speak!
Harvest ties Cassandra up in a giant Venus flytrap, but then the S&M Minotaur shows up, as he does.
Yay, S&M Minotaur!
And then suddenly Eros and Moon show up as well, because Eros is just like, hey, if he already conquered death, why wouldn't he come to try to conquer life next? Haha, I'm so smart. Pew, pew, pew. Shoot my little love guns off. Pew, pew, pew.
But they bounce off the Minotaur.
Yeah.
One cannot soothe the beast of the Minotaur with love.
No.
He's an S&M Minotaur.
Exactly.
You have to be violent.
Wonder Woman shows up as well to take out the Minotaur. But then
there was that panel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
The panel when all of a sudden, because Wonder Woman grabs the Minotaur on the shoulder, and the Minotaur turns around, sees Wonder Woman, and there's one panel where his eyes go wide, and it's just ... where he seems really surprised to see her there. Sincerely surprised, oh my goodness, it's Wonder Woman. I know we talked about it before with the Zero issue where she saved his life, when they were younger, but it just seemed more to it. Every time she shows up and he's there, the Minotaur is just looking at her oh, hey, I want to say hi, but you keep punching me in the face.
Also, I've got this thing covering up my mouth so I can't talk, so,
Read my eyes.
Yes. So she takes out the Minotaur, but then a Firstborn shows up and sucks all of the life out of life? Yeah.
Sure.
Wonder Woman sends away all of her friends to save themselves, and she goes to take on the Firstborn herself.
Showdown time.
Showdown time. Weird vein tentacles everywhere. Everyone goes to regroup at Paradise Island. Things look very bleak. And then Orion and Milan come busting through a boom tube, saying, hey guys, what did we miss? Nothing bad, right?
I just had to get that bomb off my buddy's chest. We're cool now.
We're cool.
So happy.
Coming to save. This is the 5th time Horizon's come to save the day at the end of an issue. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
me
still
either.
awesome.
I even said it on Wednesday evening when I read the books. It was the page that I got to, and I literally just did the little fist punch. Yeah, Orion's back. He's my fave.
Yeah,
he's my boy. You're my boy, Orion. So I am always happy, and we get homeless people again.
Yes, more
flying homeless people.
More flying homeless people.
Homeless people are really going to save the DCU, it seems.
Yeah. Or doom it to
robotic hell.
Yes.
I mean, one of the two. 36, man. 4 more to go.
Mm-hmm.
4 more to go. So that was
Sigh.
that was basically the whole big thing, was that this, as solid of an issue as it was the build up to the build up of the finale.
So you think just 3 issues straight of, or 4 issues straight of just nonstop action?
I think it's going to be the next 3, and then I think he's going to give us an epilogue issue.
A button issue, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's just going to be 3 straight, and then him saying, put the toys back in the box. As few as I can, hopefully, and then off you go, Wonder Woman. Enjoy your life in the DCU. So 3 to take care of the firstborn, I think.
Yeah.
Who I hope doesn't go away, because he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
Even if he is just, I like turning things into meat.
Yes.
So I'm going to wrap up this half, though, with some more Shade fun over in Trinity of Sin, Pandora number 12. Do you know why it's Shade fun, Brian?
Why?
Because it is Pandora versus Vandal Savage versus Shade Agent Kincaid, the were-raven who needs to find a name.
Caw.
Caw indeed. And where we had left off, they were on a rooftop, and Vandal Savage had shown up with Pandora's love bud, Marcus, the guy that's been making all the guns, and she just professed her love for him, and he's all like, oh, I love you too. Well, now Vandal Savage has him by the neck, hanging over the side of the building, and he just goes, snap, and breaks the guy's neck and tosses him at the feet of Pandora. FYI, this series is ending. I did not know that last issue. I'm saying from Ray Fox's perspective at this point. So let's move this along real quick. Snap, he's dead. There you go. She tries to save him, but is unable to. And goes
even when she turns into her like white armor with the gun,
unable to
gun
do
boots.
so. No gun boots are going to save his life. And she does try to go through the whole, I'm redemption. I need to turn the other cheek. I am the hope of mankind. Oh no, screw that crap. Super Saiyan mode. And those two just go at it, beating the crap out of each other. If you remember last issue though, she was shot with the God Killer sniper rifle from Shade that removes the immortality from people.
Yes.
And so she's holding her own, but she's kind of getting worn down. The injuries are actually sticking as they fight. And eventually, boom, Vandal Savage is able to knock her over, and Kincaid goes, well, I'm going to try to even up the odds here a little bit because I don't want him to be the only person to survive. So, pa-pow, Vandal Savage gets shot with the anti-immortality gun. Now, he is also mortal.
No.
At least able to be injured and wounded and die. And the fight continues, but of course Vandal Savage is too much man for them. We know that. He's Vandal Savage. Yeah. He's awesome. And they end up just basically tackling each other, flying off the side of the building, and crash onto the ground below. Horribly, horribly painful scene of a broken, like, bones sticking out Pandora as she's crawling along the ground. And Vandal Savage is able to get up and just walks along her body as she's leaking fluids, crawling across the ground, mocking her, making fun of her, yelling at her for scorning him thousands of years ago, and proceeds to curb stomp her face into the asphalt.
Okay.
Vandal Savage, a little savage. Just FYI. It's in his name. He has to be.
Yeah.
Agent Kincaid does try to break up the fight, though. Doesn't quite work out. She basically just blinds him. Pandora does with her little soul bird magic of her own that she has. The whole feel magic. And the whole thing is broken up, though, when the newly redeemed Giganta shows up and is just like picking through the ground. Is like, oh, there's Pandora. I want her. Vandal Savage. I already got 10 Vandal Savages. And she just throws him over her shoulder and he goes flying off into the distance. And she looks down at Agent Kincaid and goes, you better patch up Pandora right now because she did some soul bird woodgy on me and we need to talk. And that's where it ends. So, apparently Giganta may have a change of heart. Wasn't she like a quasi good guy for a while? I know you had mentioned something about her dating the Atom.
She had a crush on the Atom, the Ryan Choi Atom.
So did she try to turn over a new leaf during that time? And
I think he kind of openly acknowledged that she was a crazy supervillain lady, but she was also working as a science professor at his university. So
gotcha. No, it seems like they're kind of, because remember Pandora and her tussled at like 2 issues back. And then it was the whole, here's the feeling of the world. You're still a good person. You have good in you. And then she just kind of felt bad and wandered off on her own. And now I'm curious if she's coming back to either A, be like, is that actually who I am? Or is that just a part of your Soulbird magic that you do to make it seem like I'm still a good person because I don't feel like one? I don't know. Maybe they're going to hug it out at the end and that'll be it. Although a Giganta hug out would be a little painful.
Just a smidge, yes.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Soulbirds, not to go all Marvel on you, but you do realize that Doctor Strange now has murder-sniffing birds.
Oh, murder-sniffing birds. Those are much more useful than Soulbirds.
I know.
Do they sniff out murders? Or
yes, they do. They do sniff out murders.
Man, I feel like the DC universe got short-shifted here.
I know. There's a gap in the in the magical bird arms race, and Marvel's mopping the floor with you guys.
I think even messenger birds are more useful than soul birds.
Yes.
Just tie a message to the Falcon and let it fly off. Or Falcone, tie a message to him and say, go over there and just deliver the message for me. I don't care how they do it. That's more useful than soul birds. It's a shame, really. Yeah. But that wraps up this half. So, Brian, what do you have coming up for the back half?
I've got Batwoman. I've got Green Lantern, New Guardians. I've got Supergirl. And that's it.
And I have a short half for myself because all I have is Batman Eternal number 11, which, Brian, you'll be sad you did not read, and Harley Quinn number 7. So hold on a couple seconds. We're going to take a quick break to try to make some adjustments to settings, and we will be right back. Hopefully not as loud as I was in the first half. I looked at the levels and was like, yee! Yeah. So I'm going to start off this half with the Bat Big Dog. The big dog of my half, Batman Eternal number 11. Led by the pen of Tim Seeley. I don't know if you remember this name because he's been writing some of my favorite stuff of late, and he continues. This guy seems to be the big defender of the Morrison Batman Inc. stuff. Everywhere he shows up, we get the weird Batman Inc. stuff going on.
I saw the Morrison villain on the cover when I was looking through this week's stuff.
Yeah, and not only that, but he's also the guy that was writing the last issues of Talon with Lord Deathman, and then they ended up joining Batman Batman Inc. stuff there. He was doing the DeFauster Kane weirdo Grant Morrison style stuff with Spiral. This guy seems to be like I am the keeper of all things Batman Inc. right now, and I'm going to keep it alive everywhere I can. And it was a good pick for this issue for him then, because we begin in Brazil. It's World Cup time for the Batman Inc. team. But in this case, we're following the adventures of Batgirl, because remember, she is on the hunt for the one face that she saw that stood out in the train station when she had gone through all the records of the cameras and everything. She saw one person that stood out, and that is a man by the name, the scariest man ever. I mean, this threatening villain by the name of Gonzalo. The Brazilian soap star Gonzalo.
Okay.
And she shows up in Brazil.
She's big on telenovelas?
Yes. She shows up to break up an assassination attempt from Scorpiana, who is trying to kill him. And she actually saves him, pulls him off to the side, and goes, "Tell me why you were in the train station. What did you have to do with Commissioner Gordon? Why did you frame him? What's going on?" He's like, whoa, mi amor. I had nothing to do with it. I, Gonzalo, was not in Gotham City. You see, I am mixed up with the Club of Villains.
I think he's going to blame it on mi hermano.
No, it's not mi hermano. The Club of Villains have mastered the art of face off. He tells them that there's some weird scientist guy that is working with the Club of Villains that can take people's faces, mask them on other people's faces, and look exactly like them. So maybe Nicolas Cage is actually the mastermind behind this whole thing. I would be all about that personally.
High praise. High praise.
So she is stuck with another dead lead. We'll come back to her in a minute because we're going to hop back over to Gotham City where Julia Pennyworth, daughter of Alfred Pennyworth, is
Why'd you
recovering.
give me such a girly name, Dad?
She's still recovering from being stabbed in China when Batman ran across her, and she has had enough. She cannot hang around her father anymore. She goes stomping off, is about to leave the manor, and Alfred's
It's a good thing she didn't die, or else Coroner Bill would be really stumped by that stab wound.
There's no knife still in it. How did she die? A hole just magically opened up in her abdomen. So she goes stomping off, and Alfred tries to stop her, and that's when the familial argument that we kind of thought was going to happen happens. When Mom left, you decided to stay here to be a servant to a rich, pampered kid instead of coming home and being my father. Why would I want to spend another moment with you? Screw you, Dad. Die in a fire. And she goes to go stomping off when the wound in her stomach opens back up. And she goes, bleeding hell. I'm stuck here some more. And he hauls her back upstairs.
Bleeding hell, I'm bleeding.
Yes. Patches her back up and goes, look, I spoke to Bruce Wayne. He knows that you're part of the SRR, the recon unit for England. He knows that what you're trying to do is stop all the international crime that's going on and stop Falcone. He's trying to do the exact same thing. If you want to use Wayne Manor as your base of operations while you're here in Gotham, please feel free to do so. I kind of hope you do, because taking care of wounded soldiers is what I did as a soldier, and it's kind of what I do now. Just trust me. You want to be here if you're going to fight your one-person war against crime here in Gotham. Elsewhere, though, in Gotham City, most notably the library, Stephanie Brown, who has taken up residence at the library, is looking up the history of her father, trying to figure out who he is, why he's a supervillain, all this stuff. And she finds out that he used to be a quiz show host in Gotham City who finally just got so annoyed that all of these stupid people were being successful. It was a charity show that he was running, so it was like a fashion star. Bruce Wayne was actually on it. It was the 0-year reclamation project that they were doing a fundraiser for years and years ago, about 5 years ago maybe.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And the fashion person just keeps giving stupid answers, and everyone keeps laughing, and he goes, you know what? You're just a stupid, vapid biatch. And of course he gets fired. He loses his job, and he just becomes an elitist prick. Why is all the stupid people being successful, and here I am, I'm a genius, I'm smart, I know all this useless little factoid stuff, I could own a pub quiz, own it, hands down. I can't live off chicken wings alone, though, so how is it that I am not successful? And so he ends up becoming the clue master, leaving clues behind as he actually commits all these robberies to prove how much smarter he is, until Batman comes along, and as Stephanie Brown says, he matches wits with people like the Joker and the Riddler. So when a guy is actually leaving clues saying, I'm going to be over here, it wasn't very hard for Batman to take him down. And she does remember one time in her childhood when she woke up when she was like 4, and she steps outside and she sees like this nightmare monster holding her father up, just threatening to kill him. And her dad tells her to go back to bed. It's just a nightmare. And she realizes that she was just being used as a bargaining chip, a get out of jail free card, that it was another game her father was playing because he's pleading to Batman, please, Batman, she's all that I have, or I'm all that she has. You can't throw me in jail, or else, she'll become a bad seed like me. You gotta believe me. I'm done, man. I'm done. So she's like, ooh, curses. And now she has decided to go online and, spoiler warning, post all of the things that he is planning to do. That's what she keeps saying. Spoiler warning. Not that she's going to become the spoiler or anything like that, but spoiler
Her
warning.
name has become very hip.
It has.
Yeah.
She is totally in right now. So let us hop elsewhere, back to Brazil, in this case, where Batgirl has broken out of the tower with Gonzalo, because Scorpiana is still chasing after them.
He doesn't have a very big nose. I'm going to be very disappointed.
No, he doesn't really, actually.
A love of chickens?
No
Okay.
love of chickens either. No cannons either. That would have been really useful in this whole thing. But he is
Does
naked.
he at least call people Philistines?
He could.
Okay.
He could do that. But he's naked because the assassination attempt was putting a bunch of poisonous centipedes into his costume. I would think scorpions with a name like Scorpiana, but it's not. It's a bunch of centipedes. And so he had to take off all his clothes, and he's running around, and all the people in the building are like, "Oh, mi amor, my lovely soap star Gonzalo," and all the girls are chasing after him as he's running down the hallway naked. It's a very funny little side scene that's going on. They go to escape, and they go to swing out the window, and that's when Scorpiana shows up and throws a bunch of centipedes on him as he's hanging onto Batgirl's arm, and he starts going, squirming all over the place, trying to swat the scorpions and centipedes off of him, and she's yelling at him to hold on, and he loses his grip and falls. Stories and stories. Oh no, he's gonna die. When suddenly a spaceship shows up, catches him, and he lands on top of it, and we go inside the spaceship where Starfire goes, "Okay, Red Hood, I caught the beautiful man. Now what do you want me to do?" Just hang there. I got this. And Batgirl ends up swinging over to the other rooftop, and she's all annoyed at the interruption, and that's where Red Hood is standing going, "You know, the rage mode thing, kind of my deal. You should find your own bag, yo. Don't steal my thing. I'm kind of not cool with that. Bat sent me, though. I'm supposed to try to help you get over this whole rage thing, so let's me and you go talk over a beer or something." She's like, "But what about Scorpiana? She's still loose in the building." "Oh, don't worry. I put in a call. We have an expert to take care of that." And we cut back up to the top of the tower where Scorpiana's like, "Oh, curses! You people have foiled my assassination attempt." And that's when she's tapped on the shoulder and turns around to face El Gaucho, the Batman of Argentina. And he's like, "Oh, Tristeza, you and I must do the dance of death." And they start fighting, and he just kind of knocks her out. And then he stands there with his super powerful pose as all the other soap girls come up, and they're like, "Oh, Gaucho." And he's like, "Ha, I am El Gaucho." I love El Gaucho.
Yes, it's hard not to.
He's just so boisterous and so full of himself that you can't not like the guy whenever he shows up. The last little vignette that we get, though, that's kind of intermixed with all of this, Catwoman is at the grave of Lola. You remember Lola?
Lola?
No, not
Okay.
Lola. Her fence that was murdered
Oh, okay.
issues and issues and issues ago.
It's always weird when Catwoman characters show up outside of Catwoman.
I know, it is kind of weird, but she's standing there, and there is a letter addressed to her on the grave of Lola. She's like, "Well, that's kind of weird." So she opens it up, reads it, and it's a letter from her father, her biological father, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry I can't be there for you. I know times are tough. I know you're kind of out on your own right now. It seems like things aren't really going your way. I wish I could be there for you physically, but I can't. Trust me, if you understood the details, you would understand why I can't do that. But know that I will always love you." She's like, and that's when Batman shows up, and he's like, "So what's the dealio here? What you got there?" And she's like, "You know what? I didn't have a father when I was a kid, and I sure as hell don't need a dad right now, so back the hell off, Batman." And she stomps off on her own. She's kind of forging her own path from this point forward. Who was Catwoman's dad in the past? Did they ever go down this path at all?
I don't think that was ever touched on. Or if it was never anyone really important.
There's people that seem to be thinking that it was Falcone, that he actually is her biological dad. But it wouldn't make sense that he was all rage mode last issue and wanted to kill her and then would leave him a note like this.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of scratching that one off just from contextual clues. Interesting, though. Very interesting. I know they've kind of gone down the path before where she's apparently of Russian origin. When Nocenti took over Catwoman, the first issue she did was the 0-issue Past of Catwoman, where she was trying to find her biological parents, and they ended up being of Russian descent, and that's all she knows. I don't know if anyone's going to run with that. I don't know if anyone's going to run with any of the Nocenti stuff, although we have had, is it Dr. Phosphorus? And the underground stuff has started popping up, so I don't know if people are going to make it count or not, but I guess we'll see. It's an intriguing little turn in the story. I just love seeing El Gaucho, and the gentleman that did the art in this one, I did not, I'll catch it later here, did his own version of the Chris Burnham style.
Ooh.
Like it's clearly him doing it, but the model, the archetype that he built it off of was clearly the Burnham style with like the very weird, larger faces and stuff like that. The bigger eyes. It's a great look with the Batman Inc. stuff. It doesn't quite fit with like the Catwoman and the Stephanie Brown stuff and everything like that. Because it is such a Batman, it instantly when I see that art style, I'm like, Batman Inc. I just need weird stuff going on. I need my head to just be all in a tizzy going, what the hell's happening here? And then El Gaucho just like, ha ha, standing in the background. That's all I need with that art style. But the other stuff, it looked a little weird with. Some people loved it. Some people hated the art. Hated the art, this issue. So it will have to be a personal choice on your part. Next up, though.
If you're getting every single week of the thing anyway, you're going
to get different styles.
You're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, you're going to get different styles.
Yeah. All right, I'm going on to Batwoman 32. Speaking of very nice art styles, I realize he's picking up after J.H. Williams III, which is a tough act to follow, but Jeremy Huan's doing a pretty good job.
He is, because he's matching the storytelling in this title now that Andreyko has taken over.
Aha.
That's why, because if this was the art style with J.H. Williams stuff, with the really heady, really poetic type stuff, I don't think it would fit as well. But since we're getting a very personal story going on right now, this kind of, I don't want to say soap opera style. It has a very drama feel to it instead of a artistic explosion of expression.
Yes. Understandable. All right, so we start off Kate Kane and Bet are at a carnival. Then they run into Kate's ex-girlfriend Sophie from her military days.
The one that got her kicked out of the military.
Yes, And she is the new instructor at the Gotham Military Academy, so that's kind of awkward.
A little bit.
I get to see you all the time now. That's just great.
And she's jealous because she didn't get kicked out. Apparently she probably turned on her and didn't come out of the closet during the whole thing. That's why she got kicked out.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, because apparently she either jumped on the sword to protect her, and she's now a full bird colonel in the military, and she's either jealous of it or whoever this person is betrayed her and didn't come out with her to go have their life together. And
yeah,
obviously there's a lot of drama built into that situation.
Also at the carnival, Natalie Mitternacht, the Nocturna lady from the Wolf Spider breakout,
yes,
is out on the prowl looking for another husband to murder at the carnival where all the rich old men hang out. You know.
I'm going to get that carny gold.
And so her stepdaughter, Alex, wants to get rid of her, so she calls up the pest control in her phone. This is marked pest control.
Is it Killer Moth?
It's not Killer Moth.
Oh, see, that would have made
sense.
He
is the pest that you would need the pest control for. Come on, Sean. Let's see. Nocturna checks in with her actual lover, Anton, who is one of her stepsons.
Weird.
Well, it's a very, what is that, Tommy Boy kind of thing?
Yeah. It's very weird is what it is.
Yeah. And she's going to steal a fancy chalice from a museum. She goes off to steal it, and she's really a vampire.
Ooh. Yeah. Does that mean we're going to get some more of the spooky Andrew Bennett? Because he's set up base in Gotham to try to
I was hoping he was the pest control, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
That's the very first thing I thought when I saw that cover. But so Kate, she's on patrol. Winds up accidentally setting up a dinner date with her ex because there's no crime going on, so she's stuck answering her voicemail messages. It's like, oh god, I guess I'll go on.
Being a superhero in Gotham must be really weird, where you're like, come on, crime, please crime, come on, crime, don't make me deal with my melodrama.
The one time I need some crime, Gotham, and you don't give it to me. God.
Meanwhile, Batgirl and everyone else are like up to above their heads with crime, like, come on, where's Batwoman?
So as she's doing that, she runs into a Nocturna trying to steal things. She's like, oh, finally. So they fight. Nocturna gets the upper hand when some masked dude shows up and sucker punches Batwoman. Don't know who it is. Possibly it's Anton. Maybe it's someone else. Yeah, it's Anton. He finally came out. We check back in with Alex, the vindictive stepdaughter, and she talks to her boy toy / pest control, an assassin dude who decided that since he's in Gotham, he needs a silly costume and a silly name. So he puts a big target on his chest and he says, hey, everybody, I'm Killshot.
Yeah. He was like, Death Shot, Deathstroke, Killstroke, Killshot. Killshot's open.
There we go. That's open. I can do that.
What's my logo? Guns, 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 targets.
Yes. I can do this.
I just want to see his little brainstorming pad where he was just writing death, kill, murder, death, kill, death, man, no, lower death, no.
It's a lot of crossing out.
Just searching Google after every single one. Damn it.
Hey, unlike me, when I suggested Pod Blast as a podcast resource,
That would be a horrible supervillain. Pod Blast.
Pod Blast. Well, now I got to make that happen.
Just plays podcasts and shoots sonic waves out with them. Learn knowledge from NPR as I blast your ears out.
I'm gonna correct your grammar.
No. So you're still on board with this one, though?
I'm still on board. It's like I said, it doesn't really knock my socks off every month.
It's solid,
but
though.
It's so solid.
That's the problem.
I like the characters. I like hanging out with them. I like seeing their life go through.
And that's honestly the biggest problem with the book, though. There's nothing that's knocking anyone's socks off. There's nothing that I can be like when someone comes to me and goes, "Hey, Sean, what's a good book I should read?" It's not one of the books that leaps out on front with me, unless they're like, "I'm looking for a female-led book with a personal life storyline that's intermixed with everything." Then obviously that one leaps out front for me. But unless those are the criteria, I have about probably 20 books that I would look to before this one.
Yeah.
And I just need that wow factor to hit so I could just be like, yeah, this is something you need to check out now. At the moment, I can't say it's bad at all because it's not.
No.
It's technically sound. It's a good book. I'm interested in it every month. It's just
like if I wasn't reading every single book, I probably wouldn't be reading it,
Yeah.
And even then, I only read half the books. You're the one that takes my stuff afterwards and reads it.
Yep. Well, one of us has to.
Yeah, I know.
One of us has to know all the stuff that's going on.
I do feel like I should be contributing more to when you're talking, but
You should be.
Yeah.
You don't do that too much.
Yeah.
You should fix that.
Yes.
You should just say random things like you always used to.
Popsicle, lawn chair.
Yeah, that's what you did before.
Yes.
So speaking of randomness, though,
Oh, yes.
I have Harley Quinn number 7. Moving on here. Harley Quinn is wonky. It's still the goofy fun book. It's the dark humor. It is by far the dark, morbid humor book, but it is light and fun at the same time. So you can't fault it. You can't yell at DC and say, you're all dark and mean, and then spurn something like this and completely
Well, she is
write it off.
murdering people constantly.
She is, but it's kind of in a goofy manner each time. It's a Deadpool killing. As I've said before, it's as grim and gritty as Deadpool, which isn't grim and gritty, even though people are dying incessantly in that book. That's the exact same style they're going for here.
She's going to kill someone, but she's going to shoehorn in some random thing about pancakes
She'll
as
get
well.
a pun in there or something at least. So where we had left off, someone is putting out assassination requests against Harley Quinn. And Poison Ivy, with the help of Cy Borgman, have figured out who it is that's doing it. Well, not who it is, but where the requests are coming from. So they go to the beach to plan their thing as an excuse to put Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn in bikinis and have them hang out on the beach. But then a bunch of party boys show up in thongs and start going in front of them, and it's very weird. And obviously Ivy has no interest in them whatsoever, but Harley wants to keep them to make them paint her nails. And okay, so we find out that whoever it is that's putting the hit on Harley Quinn, they are using Harley Quinn's computer to do it. They're doing it once a month. They're updating this assassination request from her PC. They're like, is it someone in the building? Is it someone you've spurned in this building that you live in? Well, there's only one way to figure out who it is, because tonight is the 1 month mark. Someone's going to put that hit up and update it. She goes, okay, well, what's the plan? And Poison Ivy goes, I want you to fall asleep, and I'm going to hide in the closet and wait for someone to come in and use your computer. Super logic. So hilarity ensues when Harley Quinn can't fall asleep, and they try everything because they don't want to use the pheromones because she wants her alert at least enough if people do come in so that she can wake her up and help with the attack and all. And finally she falls asleep, and Poison Ivy hides in the closet, literally just with it cracked open, peering out the entire night. And later that evening, Harley Quinn sits up, sleepwalks over to the computer, muttering to herself about how she's too lazy to go find all the assassins in the area, but wants to clean up the area to make it safer, and just updates the hit on herself on the website. And meanwhile, the fruitcakes or whatever the stupid little stuffed bad beaver is.
The taxidermy beaver, yeah.
Is telling her, why don't you just make it $3 million? It's not like you're going to have to pay it. That's a good idea. I'm going to make it $10 million. Here we go. And save. And Poison Ivy is just standing in the closet like, what the hell? And as she's running up because she wants to, the whole thing is they couldn't remember the password and username for the site. They didn't know what it was to get into it so they could delete all these assassination requests. So she's trying to hurry up and get to the computer before Harley Quinn logs out so they can just delete the assassination attempts. And as they do so, more assassins show up and a big fight happens. And Harley Quinn ends up waking up, but unfortunately the computer is destroyed in the fight, and they end up tossing one of the assassins out the window where she is impaled on the fence below, like across the gut. So it's her top half and her bottom half. And we get an entire page of both of them, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, gambling on which half is going to fall first. And then it just rips down the middle and both fall, and they have I guess we both won. Yay. So they go through the pockets
I know some people who would not consider that very light and happy, Sean. I'm just saying.
I didn't say it was for kids light and happy.
I know.
And it was done, the entire thing, you don't see the body being ripped.
I know quite a few people who think that every single book in DC involves people's body parts being chopped off.
You don't see anything. All you see is a splurge as it rips from off panel. And their facial expressions reacting to it. So it's kind of done in a lighthearted manner where it's just like, so yes, they find a cell phone on one of the bodies, and Big Tony joins them at this point, wielding a shotgun. Just want to say, Big Tony, our new midget in the future, the present day, is wielding a shotgun. I'm thinking we have a legacy character.
I'm thinking
here.
we do.
I'm thinking we have a legacy character. Don't forget, this is Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti who are writing this.
You're right.
Legacy character here. I'm going to have to tell Beth after the show, her midget with a weapon lives on to today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, they find this cell phone, and they also find where these hits are coming from, who's sending out these assassins. It is the BAG, the BAG, and they're like, what the hell's the BAG? It's the Brooklyn Assassins Guild. They go, there's an Assassins Guild for Brooklyn? Yeah, why not? And they find out where it's at. They show up, and Poison Ivy uses plants.
Everyone wants to know where Brooklyn at.
Poison Ivy uses plants to tie up all the people in there, and they go in and say, listen up, all you assassins. There is no money. I'm the one that did it to try to kill you all, so if you do not leave me alone, I'll kill you, I'll kill your families, I'll kill everyone you love. We clear? And almost everyone goes, yeah, we're clear, except for one guy that goes, I don't have a family, I don't believe you, I think the money actually is real, so as soon as I get out of here, I'm coming for you. And that's when Big Tony steps up and goes, this guy's gonna be a problem. Pa-pow, shotgun to the face, and drops the guy, and he goes, tap, tap, I have fulfilled my family's legacy, and walks off into the night. And the three of them go off to go shoe shopping with all the money they stole from the Assassin's Guild. The end. Hey, you cannot be mad at this book.
I liked the reveal was pretty fantastic.
Yes, it is pretty fantastic. It's a fun book if you can deal with the dark humor of it. That's all it is. As I said, it's Deadpool humor. If you're not squeamish, if you don't really care about just some off-kilter humor from now and again.
I remember being a little cheesecakey. Is that toned down a touch?
It's toned down a lot, actually, except for the fact that they said, hey, let's have our diatribing and our exposition in our bikinis on the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of the cheesecake moment of the issue. And, of course, let's change into our pajamas, though Harley Quinn's pajamas are her original costume. With like the button on the butt, the little like butt flap,
the Muppet Baby's butt flap, yeah.
So I was like, that's kind of cool. I think that's pretty funny, but yeah. So there is still some cheesecake, but it's not as in your face as the first couple issues.
Did they ever establish who the guy in nurse scrubs was that was spying on her.
No, they have not gotten there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's where we're going next. We were just wrapping up the assassin stuff first.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure if that's still involved with the assassins or not. That's the last thing I remember reading.
Nope, they have not. They have not gone down that path yet.
All right, so am I moving on to my last two books?
You're wrapping up the show for us.
Yeah,
because we're going down to space.
Space, Green Lantern, Nude Guardians 32.
Nude Guardians.
We actually have Nude Guardians in this
I know
issue.
we do.
So, Guardian
It's like people are listening to us.
I know. The Guardian Quaros, while investigating things out in space, was captured, and the rest of the Guardians think it's more important to look for him than to look for Kyle Rayner. Carol Ferris, a little miffed about this, not too happy, but she's like, well, I guess gotta follow around these blue spacemen. That's what the book's about.
But she does keep insulting them the entire time. You guys are really letting your emotions get to you. You're not really listening to me. You're being very illogical. You guys suck. None of you are nude, except for that guy over there. Put your clothes on, Guardian.
I know they really drove home the idea that one of the Guardians who hadn't been really focused on yet was super inquisitive and kind of annoying.
Yes.
So, they're establishing personalities for the rest of them.
They are, and the one that always touches things that can't leave any machine alone, where he's just like, ooh, buttons, and has to push it.
Yes, like Klepnos or something along those lines, yeah. We find Quaros was tied naked to an H.R. Giger device, and whatever captured him is very glad that his friends are not coming to get him. Also, the device rips off Quaros' arm for good measure. Because, we weren't sure if Frankenstein was going to be used this week, so we had to be careful.
Well, everyone knew it was safe last month with Batman and Frankenstein, so everyone just took the week off. This week they're like, we better double down just in case Franken may not be in. Although now we have him in the weekly, everyone should be good now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Frankenstein is the most helpful person in the DCU because he's always willing to lend a hand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Boo.
You cannot boo me ever.
That was a boom. Uncle Joke boom. All right, so we basically get a creepy horror movie issue as they investigate this weird planet secret base, and they find
Game over, man.
Game over. And they find a bunch of mutilated bodies and like weird tube machinery. Someone pointed out that there's energy signatures that are related to Ixhal. Everyone gets separated from each other and captured one by one. 10 little Smurf alien things.
Yes.
And just as Carol gets confronted by the big bad, doesn't see him, she's like, oh my gosh, what are you? You're hideous. Kyle Rayner appears in a flash of light behind her going, hey Carol, what's going on? You missed me. Oh wait, what's that thing? That's really weird.
He is much too glib.
Yes.
When he shows up where he's just like, hey Carol, how's it going?
What's going on?
What kind of place are you guys in? This is weird. This is not the bounce house I thought we were going to be in.
Yes. Kyle Rayner and Orion hanging out this week.
So you know who these people are, right? That have taken all these guys?
I'm assuming the same people that gave Ixhal her powers.
Yes, the Scions.
The Scions, that's what they were called, yes.
I believe
I did say that on the cover, didn't it?
Yeah, and I believe I had mentioned the backstory prior. Where
a bunch
they
of
were
very cubicle-looking cars.
Yes, very much so. No, they were the ones that were trying to meet their creators, and they thought the Guardians were their creators, so they showed up and they were just like, "Doi, we found you!" And the Guardians were like, "Yeah, we don't like you retarded cousins of ours," and kind of shuffled them off and said, "You guys go do what you're doing. Don't call us, we'll call you." And they felt a little miffed and spurned by that whole thing, so they've been doing scientific experiments to try to finally make themselves equals to the Guardians. So they had created Ixhal, and actually they're the ones in the Secret Origins issue that gave Starfire her powers too.
Yes.
With the bolts, and that's why Ixhal and Starfire have the same cosmic bolt power set. So there you go.
There we
It's
go.
all coming together. They're tying the threads. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Pull the thread. Pull the thread.
In
Pull
the
the
tree,
string.
part of the tree.
All right. So, Supergirl 32.
Another issue you hate doing.
Another issue in space. So, apparently somewhere along the lines with all of her crossovers she's doing right now.
Hey, they set the timeline in this one.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
They actually cleaned it up, so we know where everything falls now.
Yeah, we just haven't gotten to the end of some of those other strands yet, that's all. So Guy Gardner kicked Supergirl off the Red Lanterns and sends her to Mogo to get her ring taken off. Maybe St. Walker gets better. I don't know.
We'll find out later.
Sends her to Mogo to get her ring taken off, and she goes right up to the edge of Mogo, goes right into the, the novelty parking lot. And she's like, well, there's the Chip Memorial parking lot. Like, but you know what? Nah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying being Red Lantern, and then immediately turns around to go back to Earth. On her way there, she runs into the Diasporians and World Killer 1. And apparently he is the first of the 5 world killers from Krypton that she met earlier in the series when I wasn't reading.
No, this was a while back. This was like issues 7 through 10, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, so this
That
is pretty early in the run.
I did not read,
yeah.
so yes. And his whole thing is that he empowers people by destroying their planets. We went over this last month, but, resetting it. So they fight. And suddenly, he just dies.
Well, the body decays.
The body decays away because the World Killer armor is the actual World Killer. It was just using up this Thundercats villain body. And now that's dead, it's just a sentient armor that's trying to, make people more powerful. And then it fights Kara into the Earth's kryptonite irradiated atmosphere. And it now wants her to be the new host for the armor.
Yep.
Way
Makes
to go.
sense.
Not getting rid of that Red Lantern ring there, Kara.
Oops.
Although I'm not sure how much of a difference it would have made, but still.
Probably not much. If anything, she's probably more powerful now than she would have been prior. So
yeah.
Very common theme when it comes to the Supergirl family stuff. Because these world killers were made by her dad, Zor-El, and of course we know Zor-El is now Cyborg Superman, who is going around trying to find the strongest of races and killing entire planets to call out the weak and separate the wheat from the chaff and all this stuff. And now these world killers that he created are kind of doing the same thing as well. It's this whole strength, I guess tough love would be the best way of putting it. It seems to be the legacy of her family that has been going on throughout all the iterations and all the leftover stuff whenever it comes to her family and the stuff they've left behind.
Supergirl, tough love and trendy haircuts.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Is that going to be the name of this volume?
Maybe.
Tough love and trendy haircuts.
Well, she's had the trendy haircut since issue 1, so
yeah, it is a pretty cool look though. It's pretty modern. I kind of like it. The boots are still kind of weird to me.
A little bit, yeah.
The knee
I'm not sure
thing.
how the knee works.
Yeah,
no.
I don't get that whatsoever. I guess it's stylish. It's just not functional whatsoever.
Kryptonian.
Yeah, it's just
fashion
magic.
Design.
It's just, hey, I want to protect everything except for this joint right here that's very easily breakable. It could easily stop me from doing anything. So just put a hole right there if we could. I don't know. I still love it. I'm kind of sad to see the Red Lantern stuff coming to a close.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think they expected it to work out as well as it did.
I think that's the thing, yeah.
Because it really
I was
has
like,
been
I just
working.
do this to fill some time. And it's like, oh, wait, it wound up being awesome.
Well, I think it was a matter of getting them in there and having her mix it up a bit because she's been very isolated.
Yeah.
Except for Superboy and Superman. Those are like the only people. And she got in a fight with Wonder Woman once, so.
What better person to, hang out with than Silly Socks? Come on.
I was going to say Guy Gardner.
Well.
Because he'd take her to all the trendy bars and be like, hey, what's up? Here's my pal over here. This is Lobo. Oh, you've met before? Oh, you fought in the center of the earth. Oh, with a bunch of Dr. What? What is happening back on Earth? So, I don't know. I just think they were surprised that it worked so well. And it was working well in both books, both Red Lanterns and Supergirl, both Bedard and obviously Soul. We always say it. Did a really great job of making it make sense and fit.
Yeah.
And change the tone of both books at the same time. Red Lanterns became a little bit more almost parental.
Yeah.
Where they were just like, okay, Supergirl, you can come
Whoa,
with
don't
us,
drink.
but-
No
well,
drink. You're not 21 yet.
No,
You're not
splitting up
space. You're not space 21.
Quit lighting the blood tornadoes on fire, Supergirl. Bad.
Young lady. What have I told you about setting blood tornadoes on fire?
I mean, it kind of softened the tone of Red Lanterns a bit and kind of harshened things over in Supergirl where she could get over her rage and get over all the things where she's been sulking, I guess is probably the best word for it.
Yeah.
And put that stuff behind her so she can move forward and make friends.
Unless she's arguing with her spaceship, she's very sulky.
Yeah. And now she'll find herself in JLU with a gal pal like Stargirl, and they can start making those connections some more now that she's moved past. It's a good move for all the characters. That's all I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I'm not telling anyone anything that they don't
No,
know, though.
no.
So I'm
But,
just
you
kind of
know,
wasting
yeah.
time, right? But I'm sad to see it coming to a close. I'm happy. I've been enjoying it. Not as much fun as I was having during the Eradicator robot days.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we had Michael Allen Nelson writing
Yeah.
it. He's still kind of my go-to whenever people are like, where should I pick up Supergirl?
Michael
Go around
Allen Nelson
1819
issues.
in there.
Yeah.
Just give it a try. You can see where some things can be really fun with this book. Is that it though?
Come for the Eradicator, stay for the Shaban.
Follow the blue lights.
Yes. Always follow the blue light.
I think that's all we got though.
Yeah, that's all we
It was
got.
a light week, only 10 books. See, we set up all this time to do stuff.
I know, and there's nothing
No,
happening.
there's nothing to do. I tell you. Let's start on Image now. Let's go through all the Image books.
Oh, yeah.
Black Science, awesome. Manhattan Projects, awesome. You can tell I have a theme with all of my Image books.
Just a bit, yeah. We go over 100+ issues of Invincible continuity.
Ugh, I wouldn't even know where to start.
How about 300+ issues of Savage Dragon?
Also don't even know where to start. He's one of the few characters that I know from the 90s, though, and I didn't read comic books, Savage Dragon.
Well, he had a cartoon show that had absolutely nothing to do with the comic book.
I don't think I saw the cartoon. I would just see the art on T-shirts and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he popped up quite a bit.
Yeah, that first wave of Image books were very trendy and showing up in Gap commercials.
A lot of Youngblood stuff, too.
Yeah.
Saw Youngblood all over the place. I don't know.
No.
It's just stuff I remember from a kid where I was just like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. Okay, I guess people like it. Whatevs. So how do we end this show? Buy these books. So many good books this week. So many good books. There was Batman and Ra's al Ghul. I was just like, okay. Wonder Woman, of course, always off the hook. Future's End was good this week. Batman Eternal, if you were into the Batman Inc. stuff, awesome. I could probably go through and find a positive with almost every single book we had this week.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing really...
And I know it was a smaller week, so it's easier to do that, but
Yes.
I really had a lot of fun with all the books, even not from DC, so there was a lot of good books from Marvel, a lot of good books from Image this week, and I believe it was this week or last week, I just emptied my pull box. Six Gun, as always. It's awesome. So,
And, I don't know if you're reading Original Sin yet, but
no, not yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
So
I'm gonna collect. Wait, that one.
I won't spoil, but there's a character that everyone should be very obvious to see what my favorite part of that is.
Fair
if
enough.
You know me, and you're reading it.
Fair enough.
And one thing to tack onto the Marvel episode. Do you remember when we said there should be a podcast called 30+ Years of Convoluted X-Men Continuity?
Yes.
There is actually a podcast for that now.
Called 30+ Years of Convoluted X-Men
unfortunately,
History?
it's called Rachel and Miles Explain the X-Men. There's a lot of press for them. They probably don't need us saying it, but if you've never heard of it and you do enjoy the X-Men, even on a kitschy level, they are actually going through and explaining 30+ years of convoluted X-Men continuity.
I pity them.
More power. They're doing it in a rather entertaining way. So
Good.
Yes.
Good. It's always great when people have fun with the stuff.
Yes, exactly.
I can't ask for anything more than that. But make sure you guys go out there and buy books, support them. If you don't buy them, they don't make them. No one wins in that scenario because books get canceled and everyone's sad. Creators don't get to finish their stories. We don't get to read the rest of the stories. There's fewer choices because we all know what gets canceled and it's not Batman.
Yeah.
Batman doesn't get canceled. And if we keep all hurting into Batman, eventually that's all that's going to be left. So,
Yep.
so if you want diversity, you have to support diversity.
I haven't gotten mopey about Demon Knights lately, so yeah, poor Demon Knights.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Vandal Savage is running around Pandora.
Yeah, but now he's not immortal anymore.
I'm sure he'll get.
I'm sure he'll
He
get
got better.
He'll get better. Yes.
Next week's books, though, we start to pick up steam once more with a larger batch because, Brian, we're coming up to the end here. We get All-Star Western number 32.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll continue the backstory of the midget with a chain gun.
Maybe.
Find out that he settled down, had children, settled in New York City, and eventually had a great-great-great-great-grandson named Tony.
Maybe.
That's what I want. That's the backup I want. We continue the adventures in Middle Atlantis in Aquaman number 32. Batman number 32 as we come closer to the end of Zero Year. Batman Eternal number 12 as we head on back to Oz to continue the story of James Gordon in prison. Catwoman number 32. We continue the second leg of the Race of Thieves. Maybe
We're
some
on the
racing.
third leg. We're on the third leg. Thank you very much.
Sorry, maybe some racing, but all they have on the cover is fire. So I don't think the race goes very well. The Flash number 32, it looks like our Blue Flash finally comes back to the present day and makes a ruckus. Cause a ruckus! We get Justice League number 31, continuing the storyline with Lex Luthor joining the team. Justice League Dark number 32 as we wrap up the Nightmare Nurse storyline. Larfleeze number 12, the big ending of the big team up of Gnort and Larfleeze against a bunch of interdimensional gods. New 52 Futures End number 8. Oddly enough, no cover. They're not showing it to anyone.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's just a glitch on the website or not.
I thought it was too, but I tried looking elsewhere and I didn't see it. And I was like, I wonder if they're hiding something just to try to keep a spoiler hidden.
The preview at the back of the issue looked rather interesting. It almost looked like a new character.
It almost did, so I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
We only have to wait like 5-6 days.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Who cares? Red Lanterns number 32. Yeah. Red Lanterns 32. Secret Origins number 3, where I believe we get Hal Jordan and I want to say Red Robin and someone else.
Okay.
Let me look it up here. Batwoman. So we get her past going on there too. We also get Sinestro number 3, and we continue the Doomed storyline in Superman number 32. Can't believe we're up to 32 already.
Yeah.
It's weird. Feels like I just started this not too long ago. Yeah, just an observation. I did want to take a quick second though and say thank you to everyone out there, because I know the last couple weeks have been a nightmare for us at least, and I'm sure it came across in the show that we were very harried, very underprepared in some occasions.
I'm sure today's is going to come off a little weird too.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I also wanted to say thank you for being patient this week as well, as we figure out the actual technical aspects in a new space.
As I was getting used to the weird torture device my microphone is now attached to.
Yeah, we have like official little arm things and like actual radio mic stands now instead of
where the Scions are going to come after me.
I don't get to use my mic stand with all of the Aerosmith bandanas hanging off it anymore. So
I'll miss you, Aerosmith bandana mic stand.
It's to be sad. Where I get to rock out every now and again and be like, woo!
You guys missed a lot of great stuff during breaks. You really did.
So I just want to say thank you guys, because we will get things back in order in short order. It's just a transitional time these last couple weeks, and we'll try to get it back into speed. We are adding a new tech piece into the mix next week, so it'll probably be a little bit weirder, but we should have the girls joining us as well, because we have space now.
Yeah.
We may even have both of them on at the same time.
What?
We'll see what happens. So if you do want to reach out and contact us, because we are going to pick up the questions, comments, and corrections again next week. So if you want to correct us, you should be able to very easily over the last couple of weeks. You can reach us at the following channels, Brian.
You can reach us. It's all at DCR Podcast, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, the.com.
I don't even think we need to list them anymore. I think people know how the internet works.
Yeah.
We're DCR Podcast on the internet. Mm-hmm. If you want to email us, we're feedback at DCR Podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of gotten a little miffed recently because everyone has to explain things to me like I'm an idiot.
http://www.dcrpodcast.com.
You know what pisses me off the most? Voicemail.
Yes.
If you would like to leave a message, please say where you're calling from after the beep. I'm like, I know how voicemail works.
Yes.
How long does this go on for?
Why is the beep not happening immediately? Why am I waiting an extra 20 seconds for this beep?
It enraged me today, and that's why I was just like, you know what I'm going to drop from this? The contact us thing. Just, we are DCR Podcast. You can email us at feedback@DCR Podcast. Find us anywhere else with DCR Podcast. Done. Finished. But I did want to say thank you also for the reviews we've gotten in the last couple weeks. Even with our Rush banner, we have had a large number of reviews on iTunes. Oh. All positive, all greatly appreciated. Super cool, awesome. Thank you, each and every one of you. It helps out with algorithms or something. So do you have anything before we take off?
That's it.
Okay, well, I'm going to close out this echo chamber then.
Yes.
And say enjoy your books, enjoy your week, enjoy your lives, and we will talk to you next week.